to do now in the next 1 hour is going to little switch. We also have a part called Aarohi CoVersity, which is slightly focused open learning journey for youth who are in the age group of 14 to 21. Why is it focused? Because they are now really focusing to take themselves in different ways. There is no hurry to explore their own selves in terms of what could be their professional approach or which fields they would like to explore, especially that question, which area do I want to jump in? Yeah, and how do I move into a profession, because that's something that's quite a concern for at least not just unschoolers, open learners, homeschoolers, but I would say any youth at that age, between 14 to 21. A whole lot of us are wondering what to do, how to do, where to do. And CoVersity is one journey that we are offering for anybody who is in that age, to say, hey, you can lead your own journey and you don't have to do it alone, and you have to do it together. So let me not share more or talk about it more. Let me hand over to Srijini, who is both part of CoVersity as well as part of CoVersity forming team. She is 16, 17, somewhere there, and Aparna is also there. So they will together share with you some details, and you can ask questions, and we can, as usual, have lots of discussions. So over to you, Srijini.
Yeah, thank you, Nish. So, okay. So, yeah, I'll start my presentation regarding, sorry, Aparna will start her present. Okay, wait. Okay, yeah. I'll only start my presentation with, I'll start my presentation regarding the kind of Aparna, help me out. Are we doing a smaller presentation or the bigger one? Sorry.
Okay,
so this is the behind the scene happening here.
We'll do the smaller one, I guess, Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, however you want to do, Srijini, don't bother whether it's, forget that it's Saturday. You are there, people are there, let's talk.
Okay, then I would
whatever
say
you are in a mood of.
Okay, then let's go for the longer version of presentation. So, okay, sorry everyone. Now back. Hello everyone, I am Srijini Vengala. So today I'll start by presenting a little about CoVersity, about what it is as its core and all. So then we can have a little discussion on that and have some question and answers, and you can share your thoughts and stuff. And then we have Aparna, who will be sharing about how a typical journey in CoVersity would look like. So yeah, and then we can have more conversation on that. And now that we also have a topic for today's meetup, which is the 4 IR skills, we can maybe chit chat more about that and kind of get each perspectives and see how it happens. So, okay. Aparna, can you share screen? Yeah. Thank you, Aparna. So, okay, as you guys have attended the previous hour also, where it's just about CoVersity. So this about Aarohi. So this Aarohi started around 2008, where Aarohi is about where different kinds of families from different backgrounds come together and co-create their open learning journeys. Like, of course, as I said, it's a family. You have a vital exposure of different age group people with different perspectives and different thought process and thoughts and stuff. So yeah. So in open learning, we kind of tell that Aarohi is like completely about doing stuff. So whatever interest we have, we start doing it and learning from it. So that's where this CoVersity slowly sprouted up from Aarohi, which is like very interest based, where the people from 14 to 21 years like me come together and find their passion and kind of make their profession into it from these whole wide possibilities that we have in this whole world. So yeah, as I said, CoVersity is all about making journey from passion to profession. So discovering your passion and making it into your profession. So it's for 14 to 21 years for old guys like me, and where we together come together and deep dive into one of our, deep dive and develop and discover our passion and be a professional and develop that expertise in ourselves in multiple or one domain. It doesn't really matter. So we all come together and co-create our journeys together as a cohort, as a family, and we grow together. So we work, as I said, Aarohi and CoVersity is all about doing and working. So we work a lot, and the work is generally specifically to industry. So where we go into the industry and get to know about industry much better and see what is our role in that. Maybe by projects, internships, apprenticeships. So yeah, we get industry exposure. So and then we're not alone. As I said, we have cohort buddies, and also for a great support, we have guides and mentors who are always with us and helping us whenever needed. So guides are the people who are there with us, who kind of monitor us a little here and there, and kind of help us whenever we need and guide us, suggest on our journeys. And mentors are the industry expert people whom we go and find and ask for help regarding my domain and kind of get clarity or help in that specifically. And finally, at the end of this CoVersity journey, and also throughout the journey, I would say I start to develop expertise in one or multiple domains or multiple passions of mine, and also build myself as a human and also as a professional. So, yeah. So one such journey is Asavri. So she is 23 years old. She also had a lot of passion. She explored different stuff and deep dive, but somewhere now she felt sustainability was something that she wanna go even more deeper. So she kind of started this this production called Danak Naturals, where she kind of makes self-care products using natural material. So she's one of amazing example. She's now an entrepreneur. So that we can say she had this amazing journey from passion to profession in CoVersity. Yeah. So CoVersity is all about discovering passion, growing through it professionally. One such example is Skanda, where he also kind of felt that fitness was his passion, and kind of he started his journey into the industry. Now he's kind of closely into the industry of fitness and kind of working in it too. Yeah. And this whole CoVersity is a self-led journey where I decide what I want to do according to my dreams and ambitions I have in that domain. And I do it. I do it rigorously and all. And then I reflect back about it, of how I did, what I want to do next. So yeah, one such example is me. I'm very interested in baking. So I decide what kind of projects I want to do, what kind of internship I want to take up, or what kind of skill I want to get and do it and get it, and then reflect back about it, like how I did and all of that stuff. So that cycle goes on and on and on throughout the journey. So of course, I'm not at all alone in this journey. I have a huge support from my cohort buddies who will drill me with all the possible questions and drill me and also chill with me at the same time. So we kind of have work and also fun together, and we support each other, push and pull each other. It's like we live together, be together, and grow together too. So one such example is Drupad, where cohort plays a very nice role in his journey, where he got a lot of support from his cohort for his playing. Like he wanted to become a professional football player. So yeah, there was a lot of cohort people who was helping him, and Skanda was also one of them who helped him with his fitness stuff too. Yeah. And as I was mentioning, that we do a lot of work. So we do work to learn rather than learning to work. So we work to learn. We do go out to the industry and do work. So one such example is Sriya, who is interested in designing, and she had done a lot of client projects where she did one of the recent project was making a website for her client. So yeah, she kind of understand how this whole industry be, and how she want me to talk like a professional and all of that stuff. So yeah, she kind of worked to learn, and she learned a lot of stuff in designing too. So you get a lot of support from mentors, buddies, guides in this thriving community Aarohi that we have. So mentors always help us regarding our domain stuff, a specific aspect, and the buddies who are always there with me together and helping me in different ways, and guides, and also the community who is always at our back. And Krishu is one such person who is interested in illustration and graphic designing. He also kind of went through for different meetups, asked the community, and also through Instagram also. He found a lot of mentors and guides who can guide him, and it helped him his journey in animation and graphic designing too. Yeah, so as I said, we will do a lot of work in the industry. So technically, now that we gain a lot of experience by working, so we are work certified, and we record all of this in our portfolio, which will be like we are work certified kind of thing. And one such example is Srishti. She loves to write. She kind of recorded all of her writings in her portfolio. So yeah. So let me end this by telling a small quote. A bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking, because her trust is not on the branch, but on her own wings. So we double up. So yeah, this is an overall mind map of CoVersity. So open for questions, open for discussions, open for thoughts. So you can kind of just talk about what you kind of felt about this whole CoVersity, and then maybe after a little while, Aparna can share how a typical journey in CoVersity would look like. Yeah. Yeah, the floor is open for your thoughts, questions, and anything you would like to share with us. Okay, I guess maybe you guys can take a little time to kind of think about what I have shared. And meanwhile, Aparna can start sharing about what a typical journey in CoVersity would look like. So yeah, we both will be joining CoVersity this June. So we're both excited. So this is how our journey would look like if we join CoVersity. So over to you, Aparna. Please go ahead.
Hi everyone, so I'm Aparna. So CoVersity is a journey that I lead. Even though it's a journey that I lead, but there will be my cohort buddies who will be there with me in this throughout journey. So I might have a single interest where I might want to deep dive, or I might have multiple interests where I want to choose one and deep dive, or I'm not sure of my interest. So one thing common in this is that I start deep diving into one of my interests and explore it deep for some time. So the typical CoVersity journey will be you start with 1 year of commitment for CoVersity. So it will be 2 6-month cycle. So for the first 6 months, you deep dive into one interest of your domain and you get professional in it. And for the next 6 months, either you continue the same or you change to another domain. And for the next 6 months, either you go back to the previous one or you change to another domain or you just continue the same. So this journey continues until you find your professional journey and your true interest. So on this journey, for the typical life would be, I would be at campus for the first few weeks, where I'll be with my cohort buddies, working with them, doing group projects, and preparing for the next few weeks, where I'll be with my work, where I'll be working with industrial persons, doing internships, doing workets. And for the next few weeks, I come back to campus, where I'll be with my cohort buddies, reflecting and reviewing on my journey and preparing for the next 6-month cycle. So in CoVersity, we look at possibilities. So some possibilities that we found where either I would become an entrepreneur, or I can become a freelancer, or I might choose to go for a job, or I might have a different interest where I would like to choose the creative pursuit. So while doing all this stuff, I get since I'm working in the industry, I get to know more about the industry, and I get the industry intelligence, where I get to know more about the 4 IR skills. Since I know the industry intelligence and I have the 4 IR skills, I get to know more about the networking. Since I do all this stuff, I get my portfolio in hand. So I just don't get certified, but I get work certified. So it's not only about building professionally. I also develop my leadership skills, my living skills, my interdependence, and relationships. So one thing which I really love about CoVersity is that I deep dive into my interest, and my cohort buddies will be there throughout this journey, pushing me and making me do work and making me better. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Aparna. Thank you. So would you also like to share about the boot camps that are coming up?
Okay, so we have a boot camp which is next week, which starts this Monday. So boot camp is something where you just experience the CoVersity journey in just small duration, which is a 1-week journey. It's like a trailer of the big CoVersity journey. Yeah.
Yeah, I have pasted a few important links. You can check them out. We have our website where we have detailed information regarding each aspect. So you can check that out. You can also join our WhatsApp group, where we'll have a lot of conversations regarding this. And yeah, floor open to questions, discussions, or maybe we can jump into the topic of today. Yeah.
So I don't know if there are only parents here or parents plus youth. So anybody can ask the question. So please go ahead, feel free. Not just questions, you can share your thoughts based on what Srijini and Aparna shared.
Hi, Aparna and Srijini. Anant here. I too have a daughter of 19-year-old, and I'm really impressed with your presentation of thoughts. It's really inspiring. Right now, I'm in a stage still trying to get a hold of whatever you're presenting, but then it's been impressive very much. I'm looking forward to your next part of your thoughts. Right, I just wanted to share my thought as of now. Yeah, looking forward to your next part. Congrats.
Hi, this is Abhishek again. I had a question, if I may ask, please.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I think as I was explaining in the call earlier, my son has just started homeschooling journey. 16-year-old, taking Cambridge AS and A levels as a private candidate. Going to do that, and in the meantime, he will pursue few things here and there. One of the challenges that I faced was that we couldn't really see a very clear interest area in him, and and I have been trying to look for some spark somewhere in terms of what is it that he might be interested in doing, or what are his interest areas. We have some sense of things, but still haven't been able to put it down in terms of what he would like to do going forward. But coming back to what he's going to be doing right now is that he's almost like by elimination method, he has taken arts subjects out. It doesn't work for him much. Commerce subjects he doesn't have much idea about, that left science math subjects to him. He's analytically good, but I'm not sure whether there are things that he doesn't know about himself. So coming back to the main point, he's going to be studying physics, chemistry, math as far as his regular education is concerned. I wanted to just get your thoughts on how useful this journey of Aarohi could be for him, given that he has flexibility. He doesn't have to go to school or anything. So we would love for him to sort of get more exposure and see whether what he's doing is right, or whether he needs to think about something different. I'll pause here.
Okay. Yeah, one thing I would like to say is that, or just my thought is that, like, we kind of start figuring out when we start doing. Like, that's where I really love in CoVersity too, that we have that flexibility to kind of change our domain. It's not like we choose one domain, it's for lifetime and you don't have to change it or something like that. So I can change my domain when I feel like it. And so it's like that. And also throughout this journey, I'm only not kind of being professionally understanding stuff and being like trying to gain skills and all, but at the same time, and also I'm focusing on myself and also growing as a human too, with all the experiences and stuff we'll be doing in course. Yeah.
So Abhishek, perhaps a little better understanding of CoVersity. So one first thing that I would like to say is that it is very normal, natural, and indeed it's a great news that most 16 years old or 17 or even 18, 19 don't necessarily have one or two main passions or interests. As in, I would say this is the age to discover oneself. So there is no hurry. That's the last thing that we should do onto children, is to kind of say, hey, show me the real thing. So, yeah. So it is, according to us, it is important to give time to everybody. I would say I found it much later, but at least at this age we should give them more time and space, and precisely that is how, or rather in a way, both how and why CoVersity exists, because we feel that the real way to understand which is what I connect with, what is it that I connect is by doing it. Not going by these so-called subjects,
Completely.
because they don't lead anywhere. They're just subjects, right? Which somebody has concocted and created a curriculum and so on, right? It's structured in a certain way. Nothing per se wrong or right with it, but per se they do not tell me whether that where is my real interest going to be. So what CoVersity offers to any youth is, come over, okay, in this journey, pick up one thing, whatever that one thing. Suppose you say, okay, I like theater, let me start with theater or acting or whatever. Or it could be, let me, like Srijini is saying, baking right now, or Aparna is into art. Since they are both here, I'm taking their example. Now, the idea is not that, just because Srijini is into baking or saying that I will start with baking, that she should be a super baker by the end of some time. But when she intensely works in the field of baking, and Parna in the field of art for, let's say at least 6 months or a year, then they get a sense of, is this for me? And they may also meanwhile say, no, maybe this is not for me. I want to try out something else. So we say, go ahead, try out something else, and so on. So let us say few years, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many years, go in trying different things and seeing where exactly do I want to go even further into, which is what is it that I want to take forward. And obviously at one point of time, they will figure it out and then they can take that forward. Now, so that one big advantage of a CoVersity kind of journey is that you actually try out deeply each of these fields, whichever are in your mind, in your list, immediate list, and you kind of discover yourself. Interestingly, what also happens, because you are deep diving, let's say for a period of 6 months or 1 year into one field, and you're doing industry work, and all of that develops so much yourself that you are, by the time you finish few journeys, you are ready for anything that comes in the life, because you have already picked up a whole lot of skills, a whole lot of what were, even the 4 IR skills, or whatever one can call it as work skills or professional skill, that you can just go ahead and crack any other domain that you land up in. You just developed yourself so much. So that becomes the big plus, whether you stick to one domain or try out different domains till you find yourself. So that's the whole CoVersity, you can say, approach. So one thing we are very clear that it is not, we are clear that it is not something that you can mix with your others. If you are wanting to study and give an exam and get a certification, then it can't really be mixed, because you're really going to spend your full time on whichever domain you choose. So Srijini is choosing baking, so she is gonna be totally into it. She's gonna have maybe clients or projects, and maybe she will set up some small business, run that. So there will be no time for, let's say, any other certification or examination. So people who are thinking that, hey, I want to do certification, also we say, okay, in which case choose either one. Do CoVersity for some time, let's say a year, and then see if you want to go back to certification and continue, or you want to continue CoVersity. Or if you want to first get certification, whichever you want, do that and then come to CoVersity. Let's not mix two things. Let's not try to be into two boats and saying, I will do this also. And because then the depth does not come. Then it's like, okay, I'm doing this little bit, kind of touching the surface.
Thank you very much. I think that's very helpful. That was going to be my second question, and you clarified that. There's just one follow-up question. And from some of the videos that I saw, reading that I did, and two young ladies who just talked about what they are going to be doing. Is it true that a lot more students prefer to choose domains which are more in the arts area? Slight, maybe slight bit of bent towards it. What if my son wants to try out core engineering skills and see whether it is something that he cares about?
Sure. So see, again, it really depends on individuals. So I can't really say it's, personally in my mind, there's no such divisions in art or core engineering. This is something the world has created. I think it's a very artificial kind of, a lot of engineering is actually an art, and a lot of art is actually an engineering, according to me. But let's not get into those discussions. Personally, we don't divide anything like that. We say, you decide if you want. I'll give you an example of another child. Maybe you haven't seen a video of him. Maybe we need to get him. His name is Nihar. He's a friend. He's a son of a very close friend of mine, and who have been doing open learning since he was in 13 years or 12 years actually. Yeah. And he obviously was interested into initially robotics, then coding, then developing public service systems. Okay, so now he's about 18 or nearing 19, and in the last 4 years, first of all, he has been earning. That's number one. And how has he been earning? He's been earning by being a freelancer, doing codings, creating systems. And one of the systems that he has created is the official app of the bus system for Bangalore. So if you ever go to Bangalore and use the BMTC official app, then that's done by him. So I'm saying, well, if you call that as core engineering, I think it's core engineering. He hasn't gone to any university, no college, no courses, no nothing, right? Not even a 10th or a 12th, nothing. He's illiterate in the world of, and on top of that, realize a government department has given him the project and he has delivered that project. And now he's working on how cycling lanes can be automated to make cycling safe, so that, because he's a big cyclic enthusiast also, and so on. He's not part of CoVersity, so don't take it that he has. CoVersity started only last year. Obviously, he has started much before that. But I'm trying to tell you examples of self-led journey where what is important is that I start doing work out there. I start doing things which make a difference, right? And add value to the world, and automatically whatever I need to learn it. Core engineering sounds very hi-fi, but it's not hi-fi. Everything has to be learned bite by bite. We can't suddenly learn, whether it's art, I can't suddenly reach a high level in one day. It's just like that. I cannot learn programming in a day, can't learn music in a day. So let's forget with this business of whether it's art or social sciences or commerce. All of these words are created by somebody. To me, what really matters is, what am I interested in? How do I work in that particular domain? Whether I do it for earning or not, that's a personal choice. But I do real work because that is what it is all about. And if I like it, I can keep on taking it in any direction, in whichever direction I feel like taking it. It could be as the number of possibilities Aparna talked about. So I hope I've kind of given you a little background as to how it can be looked at if you want to look at. So the key difference is, in conventional education, you learn so that you can work later on. And in CoVersity approach, you work so that you learn.
Yeah. No, I think
so. It's work to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. We have this thing in my work where we say, learn to earn or earn to learn. So I see a little bit of a reflection there. But thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah, more questions. We have few more people. We have Samiksha also. I don't know if I have interacted with you. So hi, Samiksha. And if there are any youths who want to say, okay, I only want to interact with Aparna and Srijani, I can relate with them. We can go into a breakout room or something like that. So don't worry, you don't have to. So you can just raise your hand and say, can I just interact with them, and you guys can go in a breakout room, and we oldies can discuss our ways of looking at things, which is very different from how the younger ones look. So please feel free to raise your hand. Or just ask a question right here, or not just a question, any discussion. Yeah, thanks, Abhishek. Thanks for joining in. And we meet every Thursday and Saturday, so you can join in more. You can invite your son also to interact if you think this is something interesting for your family. So most welcome.
Absolutely, I'll do that. Thanks a lot, Ratnesh. Because we've started this a little formal journey of education for him. So there is a lot to think about, whether we want to change the course, etc. But this has been helpful. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Right. So we also, Srijani, I think Srijani or Aparna mentioned about the 4 IR skills. Yeah. So we also somehow today thought that we will talk about the skills or the abilities part, which we were also talking in the previous hour. And it was a nice discussion going on there. And again, the list which World Economic Forum has put in is their list, not that we need to agree to that list. but we all agree that there are certain, let me just call them as professional skills or work skills that really matter in terms of wherever you are working, irrespective of the industry, domain, size, whether you are a freelancer or you are an employee or you are an entrepreneur, whatever position you work with, there is a set of skills which really matter in our work life, and a lot of times they also matter in our home life. But let's focus on work life right now, and yeah, professional life. So again, not going into the list, what that list would be, but part of our thinking is that, hey, somewhere that focus, that the focus on developing those, and how does one develop those? Again, I will say, I don't know, I will say by working. But when you do the work, you have to use those skills, and hence you develop those skills. So that's the thought process, and that's one of the key ingredients of CoVersity. And not to say we need to follow any list, but we can create our list and kind of consciously see how are we doing on those. So yeah, any thoughts, any questions? Because that's one of the important things of CoVersity. In fact, we extend it to, we broaden this whole category by calling it domain intelligence. So the intelligence of, why one whatever sweet shop wala sells more than the next sweet shop wala. That when somebody asked me what is domain intelligence, I said that's domain intelligence. Both of them know how to make sweets, but one guy sells more than the other. I mean, what's the trick? What's the knack of this guy? And yeah, I think that's what really makes a difference. Yeah. So any thoughts around all of this? If you have, I would love to have more interaction on it.
Sorry, at the right time, I got a call and got distracted. I think I missed the important part. Though I heard the last and the first part, I think the important part, I lost the track. But I'm keen on like it. Can you just tell me the gist of it, Ratnesh?
Gist of, sorry?
Meaning what the topic that are the subject that you want us to think about, right?
Right. The topic is that, okay, very brief, at least we think that in life, domain knowledge is one thing, but more importantly, they have more fundamental profession or work skills.
Yeah.
And and to us, the only real way in which we can develop is by using them while we are doing something. It's not about I need to read an article and I can develop, something. So it's about, going ahead and using those skills. So one can plan these skills that I will use this. One can do these skills. One can review, reflect. So just to give you an example, a lot of people ask me that, or ask us that, hey, will there be a lot of mentors in CoVersity? We say, no. There will be no mentors in CoVersity to start with when you come in. But what will happen is we will invite you to find your own mentors. Now, why would we do that? Well, I think the simplest thing is that's part of life. That's an important skill to find out who can help me, guide me, mentor me. How do I connect to people who can be a mentor? How can I take their learnings and apply into my life, and so on? Because mentoring and guiding is not a one-off process that you only needed when you are in your youth years. You need it all your life. Even younger people can mentor an older person. Age has got nothing to do with it. So even this whole act of finding one's own mentors and then connecting with them and then seeing how you can both take value from them and as well in some way add value to them so that they enjoy being your mentor. Because if it's a win-win relationship, then mentoring will flourish and then you will flourish in that way. So we don't take mentoring as just one thing that we have to provide and we will have a panel ready and there you come, you sign up and that's it, everything is arranged for.
Got it.
Right.
Got it.
So simply because this is to us an important set, it develops an important set of skills for life. This whole journey of identifying, finding, connecting, building relationships and sustaining that relationship with a set of mentors. So that's just an example of how we say, okay, so these, I'm just calling these as professional skills or skills which really help us in work life. And that is how CoVersity looks at the whole journey. How can we consciously work and develop these skills which we feel are important? Again, the list will be created by each individual. We don't have a standardized list. So yeah, sorry, I spoke purposely more than what you asked for, but I thought let me give an example. Yeah.
Yeah, that helped me to get a clarity. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. Any thoughts, Santosh, Prachi? We have Yogi joining in. Some people have, I think, dropped out. That's okay.
Hi. So no, I think I really love the presentation, the confidence and the clarity, the way it was done by both Srijani and Aparna. So I think that is in what I see is in general one of a qualitative outcome you see when you design your own learning journey. That I was just thinking in my mind that, at assuming that they are 15, 17, somewhere in that range, was I able to do such a presentation then? And I didn't get an answer. I didn't delve on that, but I think it's excellent. So to see that happening, because even college level, I've seen kids at age of 20, 21 doing the presentation and how hard it itself is in a skill. So, that entire idea of doing it on your own and having someone to be there, fallback system a little bit makes such a huge difference. So I already see this as a huge outcome of entire idea. So yeah, I think it's just strengthening my belief in something I already believe in.
True. And this is another examples of skills in action, professional skills or workspace skills. Yeah, somewhere I'm I keep thinking or keep talking about this, that too much emphasis on the whatever the subject matter, whether it is design or whether it is baking, or too much emphasis on the content. And nothing wrong with that, but the only problem is then a whole lot of work skills are left for each individual to figure out as they go when they actually reach the workspace. And a lot of us struggle. At least I struggled the first year the most, when I thought, oh, I am out of good college, I've got a good job now, I will just ace it. But it didn't work out that way, at least in my life. I had to still figure out a whole lot of things. And yeah, that was after post graduation. So I was like, oh wow, what is happening? So I think that's and a lot of things, these things you can't learn from an article or a TED talk or something. You have to actually go out and do them. Yeah, that's why I keep talking about these more than when people talk about, hey, how will they get this and how will they get that? I said, well, the getting it is the learning. Right? It is not for us to serve them, but when they get it, that is the learning. Or rather, even getting it, trying to get it and not getting it is far more learning. In that sense, the failure part of it or the struggle part of it.
since there is some absolute silence, let me just share what's happening in my life. Ratnesh knows that yes, I too believe in this approach, these line of thoughts, and yeah, both my children are into similar thing, though they went to formal schooling, but once the time came for them to decide, right, their career options after 10th standard, I just left it to them. But, yeah, my son at that point of time, he was playing badminton, very keen, spending a lot of hours in a day. And then finally he took it up, that I'm going to continue as a badminton player, right? That was stage. Yes, of course, he did well and went up to national levels, right? And then, yeah, now he's 26, 27. Now he has moved somewhere to a space where he says, I would like to get into coaching, right? And keeping that in mind, he also did, he himself chose Symbiosis University of Pune for management, MBA in sports management, right? He did it for 2 years. And yeah, though that course did not help him much, right, to really, but anyway, he spent 2 years to realize that those courses are useless. In a way, that was a good thing for him. And yeah, next was my daughter, right, who had come to Aarohi. We stayed for a week or so, Raksha. Yeah, she, especially after returning from Aarohi and having a talk with Ratnesh, that brought a clarity to her. She decided, I'm interested in theater, so I want to get into theater. So she just, she went into several like organizations that offer, but she chose finally Bimbam, in which she says, I find, I find very connecting for myself. I find that people are down to earth, and I seem to get the best out of this lot. Though she got opportunity in other popular theater organizations training, but then somehow she went on to not so popular. No, certificate is not something she's looking for. So I see that the effect on her, like even it just works on weekends. And weekends, believe me, last 6 months, 7 months she's been going. Oh, she would plan her schedule in such a way nothing falls on Saturday and Sunday, right? She just ensures there is such a great enthusiasm and keenness, and the way she does her reflections after those 2 days of classes. So amazing. So I'm just trying to say that being a 19-year-old and then keeping everything aside, going out, touring, and even if she plans for a tour, she plans in such a way that we leave on Sunday night or Monday morning and comes back within Friday, right? So she's there. So I'm just trying to say that we are enjoying this whole journey right now, and great to see, that kind of participation in life activities. And as Ratnesh was saying, I too realized what I wanted to do much late in my life, right? When I was nearly 35, 40, that is when I started doing what I wanted to do. But I can see that in both of them right now, their participation in their life itself is something very impressive for me. I don't know what's going to bring for them success, money, or like some career.
But they're already successful, Anand.
Yes.
I define success as somebody who is able to participate their life in things that they like doing is success.
Thanks for that. I didn't know that definition. Thanks for that. But I agree with you. So I think that's it. Like they're doing what they want to do. Right. And the best part is Raksha, just 2 months back, she also decided, while I'm doing this theater and all that, and she herself came up with, no, I think I need to create a space for myself where I can earn some money also, right, out of it. And then she decided, I will do Montessori course, right? And then she joined. So where she finds that Montessori course, and she can work with children for 4 or 5 hours, and rest of the day she can do something. She figured out herself, right, that how she can balance both. And it is again her own thoughts, like how to hit a balance, right? Both financially, and though none of us put her in mind, no, you need to focus on earning some money. But somehow
Sure.
she realizes it. Okay. Yeah, in a way, yes. I thank Ratnesh and Aarohi, which was a turning point for her. But I'm here just to share as a parent, like who's feeling good about all these things that are happening. Actually. Thank you.
Yep, that's our victories. We sit back and enjoy their journeys.
True.
I think I'd like to say I really liked what you said, participating in your own life. So I think thank you for saying that. It's such a powerful statement and such a good, great measure of success. So this will stay with me. Participation in one's own life, which is not everyone is doing it, which seems so normal, but yeah, people are not participating in their own lives. So yes, thank you.
Yeah, Srijani, let's steal that for CoVersity also.
Definitely.
Yeah,
we have a copyright. We copy anything which we feel is right.
That's how. Yeah, for me till 40, I'm a mechanical engineer with my own industry. Like I used to feel that I was working. The best thing that has happened to me is after 40, I never felt past 15 years that I'm working. Till today, I've not felt that I'm working, right? So that's the best thing. And that's when I realized that, it happened because I started participating in my life. Till then, something, everything else. Right?
So nice. Thank you. Thank you, Anand. Thank you for sharing. Super. Okay, so anybody else wants to share anything? We are almost towards the end of our Saturday outing. So yeah, if anybody wants to, we have a few minutes, about 5 minutes more. Anybody wants to ask anything? Today I've been doing this session in the car, so I realize now the light is fading. Right.
Yeah, I also have launched a poll, so maybe just take a minute to answer.
Yeah, it just has 2 questions, that poll. Thanks for launching that.
I don't know. The one that I suddenly feel that I don't belong anywhere. Second question. Maybe, or I would say I belong to a new one, a new option. Yeah, I just want to be part of it, to get that inspiration and feel that I'm part of this community, like sort of, right? And I feel that itself keep re-energizing and sort of reassuring ourselves, and I feel that's required for myself. So.
Super. Okay, so then we can kind of, nobody has any other question, we can pause it for the day. As a reminder, we still meet every Thursday at 7 and every Saturday at 6. So the link remains the same. So, and if you have any other, if you know other families with youth, or you know other youths, you can just help us, just make them aware that, hey, it is possible. It is not just possible, it is extremely enjoyable if you want to try this whole journey of leading yourself, right? Participating in your life now, I should say. And so please help us spread the word and reach out to youth in any socioeconomic strata of our country. So it's not just for, people who, let's say, speak English, right? We are wanting to be we are completely inclusive. So anybody who would like to do this, whether it's from a village or from a city, whether from a let's say economically rich family or a poor family, it doesn't matter. But somebody who says, I want to do things in my life and things that I like doing and build my life on that. So most welcome. So please help us spread the word, and thank you, and
sure.
Bye-bye, and have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, Srijani, Aparna. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye. See you next
Bye.
time.
Bye.